if you're going to do it, let's put the same effort. Like it takes the same amount of effort, but make it right, make it nice, like
Mhm.
make everything cohesive and not just do it for the sake of putting something out there.
I mean, I think sticking to your guns is really important because then that means that like your brand actually stands for something, you know?
Someone reached out from a spice manufacturer and they were like, hey, we can give you better, cheaper, everything. And they were like, but you don't have spices from Mexico. He was like, let me check. And then he came back a few days later. He was like, we have it from New Mexico.
You're like,
And we're
babe,
like,
not the same.
Hey friends, welcome to Above the Fold podcast. I'm your host, Jess Servion. We're going to be talking about everything in your customer's journey. You're going to learn things about customer experience, brand experience, and marketing secrets that help you drive your brand success. So stay tuned, buckle up, and let's get into the episode.
Welcome back to another episode of Above the Fold podcast. I am joined by Daniel Schwarz, founder of Chuza. Danny, just tell the audience about Chuza. Like you were sitting in a bowl of nuts right now, so I want you to talk about your snacks.
you know, well, thanks for having me. I'm already having fun and we haven't started.
We haven't even started, dog.
You want me to tell you about Chuza?
Chuza, yeah.
We are a spicy snack brand bringing bold flavors from Mexico, 100% Mexican spices, no colors, no artificial flavors. We started working on Chuza in 2020. January 2020 is when we jumped in, and then launched in 2021. We started with a range of dry fruits. Then we added a vegetable in 2022 with the introduction of a spicy cactus. And right now, we just launched our new range of nuts. That's why I'm like, my head is in a bowl of nuts. So we just launched three trail mixes, a Barrio, a Clásico, and a Tropical that just launched last week in Whole Foods. So we're super
Wow.
excited here in Southern California. Yeah.
Dude, just in SoCal? Just Whole Foods SoCal? Or over?
What they used to call the SoCal region, which is Arizona,
Mm.
Nevada, and then Southern California and Hawaii.
Wow. Okay, cool. Well, I'm really sad because it's not in Chicago Whole Foods then. So that's a little bit of a bummer for me.
Hopefully soon.
Hopefully soon. I'm going to actually go to Whole Foods tonight and be like, listen, let me tell you about these spiced nuts that you need on your shelves. Okay, well, when I was doing some research on you, I really want to talk about this because you are native of Monterrey, Mexico, and now you live in San Diego. But in your time in Mexico, you were in tequila and spirits brand management. So I'm really curious, what made you decide to leave the spirits industry and liquor portfolio and risk it all for a bag of spicy dried fruit?
The tequila portion, I did it from New York. I lived in New York for
Oh.
almost 10 years. But what made me want to jump back into entrepreneurship was just an itch for having skin in the game.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing more accountable than when you have skin in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So entrepreneurship it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I had done something in the before tequila that was also
Mhm.
entrepreneur. So I went from entrepreneur to something very corporate to
Mhm.
then starting Chuza.
So I actually really love that definition of just like entrepreneurship and like going from operator to entrepreneurship because it's actually why like I'm an entrepreneur. I know before we were even recording, I said like, oh yeah, I do content, but like I now own an agency. I'm now also I'm building my own brand and I'm like working on a portfolio of like commercial real estate stuff. And I know it's like very broad things that I'm doing, but it's exactly what you're saying. It's like, it's really different when you have skin in the game on something versus like just being an operator and like corporate America. Would you say?
100%. I mean, if you're going to wake up stressed and going crazy and putting 100% of your time and more to it,
Mm-hmm.
it feels great to be building something that you're truly part of it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're very excited, and everyone that's working at
Yeah.
Chuza is also like excited to be part of it.
Yeah. Well, before I ask you more about Chuza, though, so you did have a successful startup in Mexico, though, right? That was before the US, or
Before the U.S., yes.
okay. What was that startup?
We were doing diners right after college. I started a business, and we were doing diners and cafeterias for the manufacturers in the
Cool.
northern part of the country.
Wow.
So yeah, giving like three meals a day, 24/7. We had around 100 full-time employees, and that became a very nice and exciting business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I did in Mexico. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. Okay. I love this journey. Well, okay. So coming from entrepreneurship and then brand management, right? So, when you looked at the snack aisles in America, and you obviously saw a void because you obviously did your own research. I'm curious about like how important was it to you that Chuza didn't just compete on the flavor, but acted as a powerful vehicle to redefine and truly celebrate Mexican culture for the US consumer?
When I was doing in the tequila world, which packaging there is beautiful and it's like, for the majority like very well represented. I felt I was putting a lot of attention on TV ads and packaging and what was going on, and I was seeing that sometimes TV ads that were made for the Hispanic population in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
were felt like a little bit cheapish versus what was presented to the U.S. Same quality in terms of like production, everything, but like they will like dumb it down. Or you
Yeah.
go to a grocery store, a convenience store, and the packaging was like the mariachi and the sombrero and like
Mm-hmm.
a clear packaging with like a sticker stamp in the front.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to bring something that was representative from the packet from the outside with like beautiful imagery, packaging that will be represent quality, but also on the inside, bold flavors with ingredients that when you try them, you will really feel like you're eating from Mexico.
Ah, I love that, dude. I love that. And I'm curious about the name because so Chuza means hitting the mark or achieving a home run in Spanish.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, I think that's a very powerful name, especially coming from your entrepreneur background. But I would love for you to just like walk me through like what was your decision on naming it Chuza?
Chuza, when we were looking at it, everything has had like a full circle moment for us, which is very fun.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted a name that was short, that was sweet, that I could say it as a Mexican the same
Mm-hmm.
way that you could say it as an American, right? Like Chusa, just roll off, like it's short. We all can say it. But then the meaning of it behind it was also very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It means when you hit all the pins in bowling, that's a Chusa, that's a strike, but it's the same way that it's used like when you do something amazing, oh my god, that is a home run, that is a Chusa moment. So
Cool.
we wanted to not only be easy to say and catchy to say,
Yeah.
but also to have some meaning behind it. And if you see through the packaging, there's like little elements of different things that have happened from the owl to the name that
Yeah.
have all come together.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. I love that because I mean, not even just the name, but like in the packaging and like the whole intentionality behind it. When you were saying about not knowing how to say the name or making it really easy, like honestly, with the thing that was coming into my head was how people say tagine
Yeah.
instead of tahine. And I'm always like, it's tahine, dog. Like it's not that hard. Or just even like not understanding what tahine is.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other subject.
But
um,
but
oh, go
hey,
ahead.
but they've paved the way for brands like us to
Two.
come in and like present products that are representing our flavors, but are consumed by the general market.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, I also think that like Latin foods. I wouldn't even just say like Latin foods. I would actually say like just international foods as a whole in the CPG like arena have really one like elevated, but I feel like there's a lot more spaces for like spices and just different like dishes. Like somebody that was on the podcast before, or actually the podcast that aired this week was Lauban, which is dumplings,
Yep.
right? But in the frozen food aisle, right? I've also had like somebody from like an Indian spice brand. But my point is though, is I think that like just in general in America, like we're craving more of like the international markets, and I specifically in Latin, I think that like the opportunities are so ripe to bring so many of the flavors but also dishes to the aisles as a whole.
It is the like the occasion has changed from when you go to the restaurant or when you were going to traveling to now you have a Taco Tuesday. That's
Yeah.
our in Mexico we don't have a Taco Tuesday, right?
Yeah, every day is Taco Tuesday. Or- I'm just
But,
thinking about like the taco trucks in Mexico City right now.
yeah, but,
Yeah.
but if you think about it now, it's something that people are consuming. It's like part
Yeah.
of your of your weekly diet to be eating Mexican food, Asian food. Like
Mhm.
you're not thinking about, oh, I'm going to have a dumpling because it's part of it. You're not eating spicy Mexican snacks just because you're craving it.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Well, I think this goes into like my next area of questions because like I want to talk a little bit about like your just like personal motivations. And I also want to highlight the fact that like you grew up in Monterrey, Mexico, and from what my research, you often reference a specific memory about sharing tostadas con chile from a food cart with friends after a football game.
Yeah.
I'd love for you to like let's get emotional. Take us back to that moment like when you're consuming it or thinking what does the air smell like? What did the spice feel like? How does that sensory memory become the non-negotiable and authentic benchmark for every product that you create at Chuza?
Yeah. It was imagine a food cart that
Mm-hmm.
will only have tostadas. You'll have a bag full of tostadas and you pick one for a peso. And then the
Mm-hmm.
thing that you can put is all different types of spices from buffalo to different hot sauce that they will make to chili seasoning. And I remember like the citrus aromas and and the acidity, and it would be like, okay, can we have three, can we have five, and that was there was no 7-Eleven
Yeah.
next to it. It was like we were playing at these very fun dirt field uh, in the middle of the neighborhood. It was great.
Yeah. Well, I think that that's also like the beautiful thing just about Mexico and just like other places, like even Asian countries, right? Like I've been to like Vietnam and other places that food carts in general are just so much like there isn't just like a 7-Eleven or this store or that store, like a McDonald's, like at every corner, right? It is about like who are those vendors that are producing foods that you would find at your home too, but that's such like a part of like cultural moments in general, like in other countries, not really in much in like I would say in some cities in America, but not everyone. Like New York, of course, but like, and I would even say LA. Like you can get a lot of things from food cart, but like not in your like smaller towns.
Yeah, no,
So,
I remember for years when I was in college,
mhm.
I was living at home, and every day there will be a bicycle with a canasta of elotes, like with a little bowl, like big bowl of just selling corn with
Mhm.
mayo and spices. And
Yeah,
every day he'll just be like honking on his horn, and until I will come down
yeah,
the door and like get my corn. So like for every day for like a couple of years, I was
yeah.
doing like some corn. It
Dude, I love that. And it's not just about corn. It's like, it's about elotes and like the experience of it. Dude, I know. I'm like just thinking to myself while we're like talking, because I actually am going to Mexico City in a couple of months, and I got my vendors that I'm ready to go hit up in
But that's
each
what
of.
that's what has changed, right? Like
Yeah,
before people were thinking of Mexico of all these stereotypical things, and now
yeah.
people are traveling to Mexico for a culinary experience.
Oh my
From
god.
You'll go to your food cart for like a taco, but then you'll have a
Uh-huh.
Michelin star restaurant next to it where you'll go for dinner, and that
Yeah,
combination is what's making everything so special.
totally. Totally. I mean, even sorry, now we're on like a Mexico City thing, but like the other side of it too is like it's not even just like Latin dishes. It's also like Japanese dishes. Like there's like quite a lot of like Asian inspiration happening in Mexico City, like that I've just noticed across like the culinary scene, right? And I think it's like I don't know. This is actually why I love like going to Mexico City, truthfully, because like yes, for the culinary scene, but like the fact that it's very and yes, you can find this also in America too, but like to mix Latin, Asian, and like any, and I don't mean like Chinese or Japanese. I'm saying Indian too, like every type of Asia cuisine into like they're such fine dining and I don't know. I don't know really know where it's going. I was just like saying it's just like it is really
Just say
special
go
and
back to
amazing.
Mexico.
Yeah, yeah. Trust me. If I moved to Mexico City, I would. Okay, but not yet. Anyway, but okay. So you actually touched on this about like we talked about this in the beginning about just kind of like stereotype type of packaging, right?
Yeah.
And just looking at like Mexican heritage snacks in the US, I'm really curious if there was like a single specific product or package design that sat on the shelf that made you stop and look and realize like this is fundamentally wrong and I have to be the one to fix this cultural misrepresentation.
Not one, but like I remember at the beginning when I will start developing the packaging, and I'll go to a store, to a mercado here in Southern California, and we'll bring the image, and we're like, hey, this is what we're thinking. Talking to someone in the store, and they were like, why are you putting colors? Just put it clear. Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, like if you're going to do it, let's put the same effort. Like it takes the same amount of effort, but make it right, make it nice, like
Mhm.
make everything cohesive, and not just do it for the sake of putting something out there. So we
Yeah.
definitely wanted to. We were very intentional on the design, on the font,
Yeah.
on the spices we use, and everything to bring something that was special to the market, but also for us selfishly to also consume. I was your
Yeah.
typical guy when I was in New York that every time I'll go to Mexico or my parents will come to the US, they'll be bringing a ton of prepared meals for me to have at home. So,
Uh,
it's that craving of
yeah.
home that really also inspired what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Well, do you think it's also like, yes, like the disruption of the shelf, but like what you were also describing is like being so intentional about like the font, the lines, like the spices, everything. That's also like very much brand marketing in a way. And I don't mean it like marketing to market, but like caring about your brand in every single detail and like and it doesn't always have to be like a connection to a storyline, but caring about like your font, your colors, every little piece of it is what makes a brand go further than just sitting on the shelf. Would you
Yeah,
agree?
100%. The problem is like the moment one back brand, I'm like, oh, we can do this. It's like
Yeah.
you never finish iterating. Like we made a new change, now we're making a new one, and it's
Yeah.
just like
Dude.
being in tune with also trying to listen to the consumer and
Yeah.
what they're caring and hearing. Like sometimes I used to put the information in the back. Now it became important, so let me put it on the front. Like those
Yeah.
types of things without cluttering the packaging, because we don't want it to be, just a billboard of 100 different things on top of it.
Right, because the customer's not going to read all of those things.
Because we
You know.
also wanted like the aesthetics of keeping it as clean as we can.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I feel like I can nerd out with you on like consumer behavior a little bit because it's what's so interesting is like I think brands do like you put something out, but you always have to keep iterating on it. Exactly what you were saying. Like everything that you do, there that's going to be one packaging iteration. But then you figure out things about your customer. Then you figure out more things about what they like, what they don't like, what they're picking up on, what they're not picking up on, or maybe some sort of insight comes into play and then like it changes your packaging or it changes your marketing plans, right? Like there's never like a this is it and we're just done. There's always iterations. And that's also entrepreneurship all the time.
And it's hard at the beginning because you hear one feedback and you think like that's it. I have to
Dude.
change everything. And then you
Yeah.
start being like, okay, if I hear enough times, let's really pay attention. If I hear once, let's listen to it, but let's not also run. So
Totally.
we have a pineapple, a spicy pineapple product,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes, I'm gonna have to get that one specifically.
we'll have to send you
Yeah.
a box. But when we launched, we had a round pineapple,
Mm-hmm.
and consumers were like, Chuza is so much about sharing, like even if you see behind it, like you have the bowls and you're sharing and you're at home and like put a little in my hand, like, and you're passing it around. And when we launched that pineapple was like, okay, I take one, that's mine. So people were like, okay, you have everything to share, and this one you cannot share because once I take a bite,
Right.
like it's mine. So then
Yeah.
we changed it to make it small.
Yeah. Smart, but exactly, it's listening to your customers,
It was
right?
too small.
Oh,
So now we
okay.
changed it again to make it like a mid-size. And,
Okay.
and you can see like the velocities have changed depending on the changes we've made.
Yeah. Yeah. But exactly. You listen to your customers, you pivot, you learn, you pivot again, you do the things. Like that is like literally brand 101, right? And I think I work with a lot of founders on like my agency stuff. I mostly do like customer experience and retention because it's like so heavy in the pieces of marketing that I like. And I've worked with a lot of founders who are like, oh, we have to keep hammering this one thing. And I'm like, babe, the data shows you they're not picking up on that messaging or the thing that you think that they are going to like about your product. They're not picking up on it. Like we got to pivot, we got to change. And so I don't know. Like, I just think my point is like, listen to your fucking consumer and pivot, and you're going to pivot 50,000 times, before you get it right. But
Well, that's why we can pivot, right? Because we're small enough that we can pivot.
yeah.
So that's also a luxury. I mean, obviously we all want to be big and it will take longer to change. But right now, while we're growing, this is the time to also listen and be adapting to get there.
Yeah, totally. Well, honestly, that actually leads me into like my cut of my other questions because you launched during the pandemic, which I'm so interested in because that was like a period of massive global supply disruption. From your perspective, like, what do you think were the most significant and unexpected, like, strategic advantages that you gained from launching in that a new physical consumer product, but in that chaotic time?
For us, we were able to use COVID to develop Chuza. Really, we started working on January 1 full time on Chuza, and then
Hold on. Okay, the most Mercury retrograde thing happened to us. Danny's computer just said we were not recording anymore, so we are picking this back up. same time, same place, except you don't get his beautiful background. So I hope you enjoy the second half of this.
We have them here because you guys are missing
I know.
it.
Put it around your head.
Yeah,
Right here.
they are.
Yeah, they're here. We're still existing. Okay, we're still one for the Chuza. Okay, Danny. Before we got cut off, though, I was talking to you about like you launching in the pandemic and what do you think was the most significant or unexpected strategic advantages that you gained launching your product during that time frame?
So we were in New York for 10 years. Then we moved to LA for just a little bit. Then COVID started, and we were just starting to work on Chuza that January in 2020. We moved to San Diego because my in-laws are here and to get some help. But what we were doing during COVID, two things were I don't want to say good or bad, but like we were on development. So all the design, the naming, dealing with lawyers and setting everything up. We did that all through 2020. Also, when we were trying to test things, so we will get a kit of different fruits and different flavors, and I'll drive to people's homes and be like, okay, let me do a little search. Bring your mom, your dad, your kids, whoever is around, and we'll do a little bit of a taste it here to see what people think and like. So we did a lot of taste tests while COVID was happening, while we were developing the brand itself.
Yeah.
But it was not until March 2021 that we launched in stores.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, and so how did you get into in stores? Like, a lot of brands have like a hard time. It's like when I was doing my research, it seemed like you were doing a lot of cold calls to like secure that placement. How did you get in store? Yeah,
so the example we spoke before, it was like with Seaside Market here in San Diego. I drove there. I had a box with all the snacks. Mm-hmm. I asked for a store manager, and he came down, and he was like, okay, show me what you got. And I thought I was going to an office or something. He was like, no, just on the cash register. Show me what you have. So I show him. He was like, okay, thank you. Let me like take the samples with me, and I'll let you know what we think. I called a few days later, and he was like, yeah, we love it. We'll bring them on. And I'm like, oh, great. So at the beginning, I was just delivering the product right to the store. I used to go like every other day to see how many bags had been pulled out of the shelf, and kept going and talking to customers, and that's how we started. And then during trade shows, we will be the ones that will be chasing. We still do chasing buyers and bringing the product out of our backpack, and we were lucky enough to have met up great buyers that didn't care that we were stopping them and were willing to listen to us, and then they gave us an opportunity to be on their shelves.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just persistence. It's just like, let me in, man.
That's what it is. I have one Post-it next to my desk, and it's like persistence. And it's like on everything, right? Like just have a conviction, believe in what you're doing, and stick to it.
Yeah, I agree. Entrepreneurship 101.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Chutzpah. That's what it's called.
Wait, say it again.
There's a Yiddish word that's called chutzpah. That is like when you basically like have no shame. You just go for it.
Yep. Fun fact. It cut out. That's why I was like, repeat it. Fun fact though, I am not only Latina, but I'm also Jewish. So as soon as you said that, I was like, we have hit all the cultures up in here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I also, we've talked so much about the ingredients, but I know that you've made it a non-negotiable commitment to make Chuza 100% Mexican spices for all of your products.
Yeah.
Can you share an anecdote about a time when you were presented with maybe a cheaper, easier path, but you chose not to do it. Like tell me about that persistence.
Is like, taste is everything, right? Like when we launched, we didn't want it to do a keto friendly Mexican or a vegan or a high protein. Like, we didn't want to, it was a taste. We wanted you to enjoy the experience, taste really nice. And then if on top of that, it was better for you, that was awesome. And if you think you see the package, you're like, wait, it has more sugar, more salt, more whatever that we want, then I will eat it, but it's not like a better for you item. Yeah. Sure, we're not selling it as a better for you. We think in my house I consider it better for you, and my kids that are like 7, 6, and almost 4, they're eating it every day. But the main thing was to be one, authentic, and to like have no colors, no artificial flavors, none of that. And yeah, we've been presented to, here's a funny story, like someone reached out from a spice manufacturer and they were like, hey, we can give you better, cheaper, everything. And we're like, but you don't have spices from Mexico. He was like, let me check. And then he came back a few days later. He was like, we have it from New Mexico.
You're like, not the same.
Not the same. Not the same. Yeah, but
we're good. Thank you.
Yeah, but even when I was doing the diners, it's like we used to get, instead of buying regular meat, they will come and ask us if we wanted to buy cheaper meat. It was always like, will I eat it? Will I want my family to eat it? If the answer is yes, sure, let's talk. If the answer is no,
yeah,
the price will be irrelevant at that point.
Yeah, I know. I mean, cheaper and bad quality is not all the way. It's not always the way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think sticking to your guns is really important, because then that means that like your brand actually stands for something, you know?
Yeah. That's what we're trying to do.
Yep. Okay. Something we haven't talked about.
Yeah.
So you won the PepsiCo Greenhouse Accelerator and you received $100,000 grant.
Yeah.
Was that, well, I'm sure, but like, was that like a major external validation for you?
It was an amazing experience all around, because definitely validation, like that's huge, but also the learning from, we are generalists, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a generalist. Same. I know about a little bit about everything.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I'm not a specialist on whatever subject you might say, right? When you go to Pepsi and we wanted to develop these caddies, right? Like that I have here, right? Like whatever. Before this, we had a cardboard box. So we wanted to develop that. And we were like, okay, the mentors that we had, they said, okay, let me put you in touch with the team for cardboard boxes. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's amazing. It's not like a person, it's a team that will be looking at this. And then we went to that person and we're like, oh no, you have to talk to the other team. They were like, it was such a great experience to learn from specialists that knew what box. They were able to point us to the right direction. They were able to guide us in different subjects, from as simple as a cardboard box to more complex things, on like when we were trying to launch in a market or we were trying to do something else. And that was amazing then. But then now, fast forward to 2025, we still have a relationship with our mentors, and someone that was one of the founders of the program. He has become like instrumental for me. Like I call him once a month just to pick his brain, to get guidance, to get therapy, like all of the above. Because they are so knowledgeable, and they've seen this in a very big big scale.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's so awesome to like, cause you're absolutely right. Like, I mean, I'm also a generalist too, right? And it's like, it's okay to be like, I'm not the expert at R&D or supply chain or design, right? Like there's things I'm really good at, but like to have, it's not even just about the money, to have access to those people is just really
It was amazing. And it was like at a time that we were changing a lot of things. So it was super helpful. And right now we cannot reach out to their resources within Pepsi, but like the relationship that we have, like if we have a question, we build those relationships to get feedback. And it was not only with them, but also with the brands that participated in the program that we can ask questions between us and see where we are and learn from each other.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of curious about just like forecasting flavor in a way, because obviously Chuza is very that spicy sweet profile, right? And you see growth from it. But I'm curious is like, as you're doing product development and you're working through that pipeline, how do you ensure that the spice level remains true to authentic Mexican heat, but like balancing the accessibility for mass adoption? So like you can go into a Whole Foods or even a Jewel Osco.
Yeah. That's a great question. There's a few things. One is we've had to adjust a little bit because at some points it has been spicier than consumers wanted, and we've adjusted that too. But also we have there's a natural element to it, right? Like sometimes the spices will be brighter than other ones, sometimes it will be darker. Like it is, we're not adding those colors, and sometimes the harvest could come a touch spicier. But again, now we have kept working on the formula to the point that we feel good where we are, and the spice level, the feedback has been positive. And in how we develop other flavors and other SKUs, we've looked at things that when I started, I always said we're not a dried fruit brand, right? Because we launched with a spicy mango, and that was what we were selling: the mango, the strawberry, the pineapple, etc. And it was always like, no, we're selling what you said at some point. We're selling these bold Mexican 100% spices, right? And like this platform of snacks. And we just launched the trail mixes, and right now, like our barrio one is like one that has no fruit at all, and it's doing amazing. So we're excited that how that is going about. And how we decided to go to trail mix next is we look at more or less what our consumers were craving. We saw where some trends were happening, and we thought we could play it in that category. So we've been working on this for like 2 years, and just last week it hit the shelves in Whole Foods. So it's very exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, Chuza continues to have a trajectory of growth, and you're obviously securing nationwide distribution. Like that's your biggest, the biggest thing next for y'all, right?
Yeah.
I'm really curious though, what is the single biggest, most lasting shift in perception you hope the brand achieves for Mexican culture in the American consumer's mind?
To think the same way when how excited you are to be flying to Mexico. Right? That's what we want. So people will be like, it's that they will think it's like, it's fun and it's quality. Right? Because that's what I think when you're going to Mexico, that's what you think. It's vibrant, it's fun, but also you're eating amazingly, and you're having these awesome experience and meeting great people that are so friendly and so vibrant. And that's what people will like. I would like them to take out of all of this.
Yeah. And what do you think in 10 years when people see Mexican snack? What do you want? Like, what do you want them to picture that? You want them to smell it? You want them to like see that vibrancy?
I want them to know they're eating something of quality, something that it's part of their everyday life, and that it's no longer their Taco Tuesday, but it's like part of their weekly habit.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Guess what, Danny? We've hit the end of the road.
Awesome.
I know.
No background, but we made it.
No background, but like we just needed you to talk about Chuza.
Now let's hope the first part
Nice.
was recorded.
I know. Well, we might be recording again, my friend.
Yeah.
But before we end the second session of our first session,
Yeah.
Can you tell the audience where they can find you and Chuza?
Yeah, they can find us chuza.com. They can find us on our socials or Chuza Snacks. And then in terms of retails, email us and we will point you in the right direction. We are from Whole Foods to Myers. We recently launched in Walmart, Texas.
Great.
So we also launched 2 months ago in the Fresh Market. So we're very excited. Rayleigh's in our California. Yeah, the list goes on. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, I have a Fresh Market here, so I'm going to see if I can find you.
Yeah. You're in Texas.
No, I have one in Chicago. Well, maybe it's not the same. Maybe it's just local, but I am going to Texas.
You have Myers in Chicago.
Oh, I do?
You do?
Okay, well, I might go on a Chuza hunt tonight.
Yeah. If you're in Texas Central Market, United, we're just launching in the trail mixes in some of the United Market there in Texas.
Cool.
So, yeah.
You know where I would love to see you guys in like
everywhere.
I mean, everywhere, absolutely. But a space that would be really interesting is like REI Patagonia because they have like the snacks.
Yeah.
They do have their snack sales, and that trail mix would crush.
So if they're listening, we're ready.
I know. Hello, REI.
Yeah.
Knock, knock.
Knock. We're ready. Yeah. People will take it for like from fishing to hiking. Yeah. It's a very easy snack. Like if you're whatever your activity is, if you're hosting someone, if you're just chilling in your couch or you're just drinking, it's a great one to have with.
Yeah. Well, I am super excited.
Thanks, Jess.
Thanks for coming on. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in for another episode of Above the Fold. We'll catch you next week. Toodles. Dang, we've made it to the end of the podcast and you're still here. So thank you so much for listening to Above the Fold podcast. For the best of this episode and every episode, be sure to follow us on Instagram and my YouTube channel. And for deeper dives on the secrets to brand success, don't forget to subscribe to my weekly newsletter, Sunday Postcards. All right, my dudes and gals, see you next week.